Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yonathan. Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahshai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. Alright, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, today I want to read through Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, just to show you that there are some prophecies in the Old Testament that haven't been fulfilled yet. We're going to point out what the Lord is going to do to his enemy. He declares that he has an enemy in this chapter. All right. We might jump to 36 as well, just to go into the details of some of the things that this enemy that the Lord proclaimed that he had would be doing. All right. So with no further ado, let's get into it. All right. Ezekiel 35. And we're going to start here at the top on the right in the NLT. All right. It says, again, the message came to me from the Lord. So, you know, the Lord is speaking through the prophet Ezekiel. Son of man, turn and face Mount Seir. Now, later down in the chapter, it's going to let you know who exactly is talking about when it says Mount Seir. A lot of times when the Lord identifies a place to speak to it, he's talking about the people of the place, or the inhabitants of that land. Okay? For instance, when the Lord talks about, O Israel, okay, it's talking about the family of Israel. Okay, it's always a people before it's a place. When he talks about, hey, O Jerusalem, it's talking about the people before the place. All right, verse 2, it says, Son of man, turn and face Mount Seir and prophesy against its people. Same thing we're doing today. Give them this message from the sovereign Lord. I am your enemy. So the Lord is declaring he's the enemy of the people that are the inhabitants of the land, but he's going to make it more specific for anybody that wants to get simple and say, well, these people live over there today. Okay, he's going to get specific with you. All right, I am your enemy, O Mount Seir, and I will raise my fist against you to destroy you completely. Now, this nation that the Lord is going to destroy completely, this hasn't been done yet. All right. The first time a nation is going to be completely wiped off of the face of the earth, okay, entirely, is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. You know that, pursuing the Obadiah 1 and 18, okay? And I will raise my fist against you to destroy you completely. I will demolish your cities, and I will make you desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Your eternal hatred, right in the KJV, it says perpetual hatred, meaning non-stop. And there's a people who have a perpetual hatred for the so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans to this day, and it burns bright till this day. Verse 5 again, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless. Anytime we were under attack, especially under the Babylonian siege, the Edomites not only helped, but they furthered the affliction. They are notorious for kicking us when we're down, okay, which is a dishonorable thing. You know, back in high school, or, you know, just growing up, you know, you would see a fight, and sometimes you would see the other guy, even when the guy was down, you know, still kicking him and hitting on him. It's supposed to be a fair fight, but the guy would continue to kick and beat on the guy that already lost, showing that he had no mercy, no restraint. And a person that has no mercy or restraint, they're not fit to rule, because they can't operate in upright judgment. They have no self-control, which means they shouldn't be in a position to have dominion over other people. But right now, the Edomites, okay, the earth is in their hands. This merciless person that doesn't have any self-control or restraint when in regards to pursuing the desires of the flesh is ruling right now. All right, verse 5. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. Verse 6. It says, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you show no distaste for blood, okay, and this devil, he soaked the entire earth with the blood of the people, especially the blood of the nation of Israel. In Numbers 33 and 35, let's go there really quick. The Lord gives the remedy of how a land that's soaked with blood can be cleansed. Okay, here's it 35 and 33. So like you guys, let me scroll down here, get this for you. All right, Numbers 35 and 33 in the KJV here on the left, it says, so you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. For blood, it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So the only remedy is for the person that shed the blood, for their blood to be shed. That's justice. Thing is, we're not going to receive that justice within this infrastructure in this society. We're going to receive that justice upon the return of the Lord. All right, remember, our weapons of our warfare are spiritual to the pulling down of strongholds. Now let's read that again in the NLT here on the right, verse 33. It says, this will ensure that the land wherein you live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land. And no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from the murder. So the blood of our ancestors, all right, the blood of our brothers and sisters for generations and generations is crying out, okay, unto the Father, the same way Abel's blood cried out when Cain slaughtered him. They're even in the heavens, man, nagging the Heavenly Father, man. Hey, and the Son, really the Son, nagging him. Hey, when are you gonna recompense these people for all the evil that they done? Look at the shit they're doing, you know. Okay, so now let's go back to Ezekiel 35. In verse 6, it says, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. So these people, they don't have a distaste for blood. They eat blood in their food. They cover themselves in it. And what I mean by that, I can't really say it on YouTube, so I'm going to break it up into two words. Adreno, and then, you know, the stuff they put on rims, chrome, adreno, chrome. They rubbed it all over themselves. They have a fetish they have a kinky relationship with blood. So the Lord's going to, cover them in blood, their own blood. Whenever they're doing, the murdering and covering themselves in blood, they're doing it with other people's blood. But it's going to be their own this time. Okay? Verse 7. I will make Mount Seir utterly desolate, killing off all who try to escape and any who return. Okay? Let's go to Obadiah 1 and 18. It's going to be a great execution. Kingdom of Heaven, let's go down to verse 18. That happens to the nation of Edom. And we know that the nation of Edom is still here because it's prophesied, okay, that they would appoint the Holy Land into their possession. That's in the next chapter in Ezekiel 36. And in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, that they will be ruling upon the end of the age, meaning the end of the heathens' rulership, and Esau will be the last heathen ruling when the Lord returns. They will be present upon the Lord's return. The Lord hasn't returned yet, so they're still present. Okay? Isaiah, 63? The Lord talks about, when he returns, how he's going to deal with Edom. Dye garments from Basra, right? So they're still, throughout prophecy, the Edomites have to be present upon the Lord's return. So anybody that's saying the Edomites, that happened already, we don't know who they are. That's just a bold-faced lie. And even the rabbis, the small hat rabbis, they'll tell you, they constantly are pointing out, the West, the ancient Edomites, Esau, the Romans, they became Western Christendom. They'll tell you that. Right? So what they won't tell you is that they're also Edomites. They're the head tribe. The Amalekites. They won't tell you that, but they'll point at the other Edomites though. They'll throw their brothers under the bus. You know, treacherous. All right. So Obadiah 1:18, it says, and this is in the KJV on the left. It says, "In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame. In the house of Esau for stubble, they're going to be devoured and destroyed and put out of the way," as it's going to go on to say. "And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining in the house of Esau." So this is going to be the first time a nation is cut out of the earth. "For the Lord hath spoken it." All right, because all the nations are still present. The scriptures say there's no ending. There's no end to the people. Okay, so the first time that there's gonna be an ending up of people is gonna be the this great bonfire in the kingdom of heaven. And who knows what the Lord will do with those spirits after they're offed? You know, it'll be up to Him. But that nation itself, in particular, is gonna be rooted out of the earth because they're cancer, and they're gonna, after they served their 1,000 years of slavery, they're gonna have served their purpose, and that's what they desired to do to the children of Israel. Build up their kingdom to the point to where, you know, it couldn't be taken down. They wanted to build an everlasting kingdom and then get us out of the way. All right? Because us being present is the threat to the Edomites' existence. Us being present on the earth, you know, means this prophecy is going to be fulfilled. Us being present on the earth means that their kingdom has an end. You see? So He wants to either get rid of the Israelites or turn them into something else via His technology, via the changing of our DNA, via Him taking ownership over the Israelites in a higher way. That way He could try to disannul the prophecies that the Lord has set in place. But He's not going to succeed. Okay? Now let's go back to Ezekiel 35. And we're at verse 6 here. It says, "As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you shown them distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. I will make Mount Seir utterly desolate, killing off all who try to escape and any who return. I will fill your mountains with the dead. Your hills, your valleys, your ravines will be filled with people slaughtered by the sword." And that's going to come, you know, via, you know, this troublesome time, Jacob's trouble, and World War III, and the return of the Lord. It's going to be much death all over the earth. But the main core the Lord has with anybody is going to be with the nation of Edom. Okay? And those who are joined unto them, which is all of the earth. Alright? Goes on to say, "For you said, the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours." Alright? And they're still in our land, okay, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, as the scriptures say. All right, we will take possession of them. What do we care that the Lord is there? You know, so they think they've conquered all the high places on the earth, which the highest place is the Holy Land that the Lord promised to us. Okay, verse 11. "Therefore, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, I will pay you back your angry deeds with my own." So, okay, you think you frustrated. You think you was angry with the deal that you got. I'm going to show you anger. That's what the Lord is telling you. I'm going to show you real anger. You think you bad? You think you tough? I'm going to show you who's really tough. I'm going to show you who's really a God. Okay? Because Esau has that God complex. Okay? Like it talks about in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3 and 4, I believe. Showeth himself that he is God. Alright? Verse 11. "Therefore, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, I will pay you back your angry deeds with my own. I will punish you for all your acts of anger, envy, and hatred. And I will make myself known to Israel by what I do to you." So the Lord, just same way back in Egypt, how glory and fame was brought to the Lord's name by what He did to the Egyptians. It's going to be done in a more potent fashion, a more powerful fashion with what he does to these Edomites. Okay, to what he does to spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Okay, verse 12. It says, "Then you will know that I, the Lord, have heard every contemptuous word you spoke against the mountains of Israel. For you said, they are desolate. They have been given unto us as food to eat." And keep in mind that all the industries of the earth, what's the fuel in the tank that makes it go? The Israelites, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Whether it's by consuming the goods that they created, or us, you know, making the products. Us being used to push the advertisement of the products, because whatever Jake clings unto, the whole world is going to cling unto it. So that's why whenever they want to push something, whether it be a philosophy, a product, they always want to put Jake in the forefront of it, because even in our low state, if Jake clings unto it, the whole world is going to follow suit. And they know this. Okay, we're the salt of the earth. So that's why whenever they want to do some bullshit, they go get a Jake. That's why whenever a politician in the left and right paradigm, it's pointless. It's just a game for the people that aren't in the loop to focus on. But it's bullshit. Okay? But whenever a politician wants to be accepted, look at what they've been doing recently. They go get the degenerate of our people, the people that within the black community are of high esteem, like the rappers and the ball players and all of that. They go get them to say, hey, look, I'm down with this person. This person's cool, you know? We got to get behind this person because they for us. Bullshit. But they know if they can do that, they'll sway if they can sway majority of the minds of Jake, that a lot of people are going to follow suit. So that's an age-old tactic. Even going back to the time of the Maccabees with Eleazar, when the Greek guards wanted him to, you know, just act like you ate the pork in front of the people, because they knew it would influence. The leader Eleazar was of high esteem amongst the nation of Israel. So if he did it, and Jake clung onto it, it's just easy sailing from there to get everybody to be Hellenized. Alright, so I think that's in what was that, First Maccabees, the 6th chapter. Let me double check, guys. It talks about the account with Eleazar. If I'm not mistaken. Type in Eleazar. Okay, 2nd Maccabees. Okay, not 1st Maccabees. 2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter. It says 2nd Maccabees 6 and 18. It says, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance, meaning he had a great reputation amongst our people, right? Was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh, but he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination. I'm not going to throw my reputation away just to save my own life. I'd rather hold on to the principles of the Lord in front of the eyes of the people, so that they're inspired to do the same, right? Such an abomination spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment. And earlier up in this chapter, they were just like, you know, we don't really got to be pork. Just make it seem like you did it. He was like, hell no, man. I'm not down with that. But you see the degenerates of our people today, they'll do anything the so-called white man tells them to preserve their own life, for riches, for fame, for that empty appreciation on this side. They'll do anything, right? So they aren't to be trusted or to be followed or to be revered. But, you know, 2/3 of our people, they'll learn that as time goes. As we get closer to the threshold of the returning of the Lord, they'll learn. Okay, back to where we were. Ezekiel 35 and 12, yeah, right here on the right, NLT. It says, "Then you will know that I, the Lord, have heard every contemptuous word you spoke." Look at Noah Yuval Harari, these guys at the World Economic Forum. We don't need God. We can make our own laws. All these blasphemous statements that they've spoken against our power. The Lord's keeping track and record of it all. They're not going to get away with that shit. They're not, all this talking down they're doing, they're not going to get away with this shit. Calling us 3/5 of a man and all this. In this media depicting us as scoundrels when really they're the scoundrels. They're not going to get away with any of it. Us knowing this, us understanding prophecy, yeah, it's frustrating existing in this world, but we also have, you know, that hope. And we know that the Lord is going to recompense us. It's just a matter of time. But our minds have been transformed not to even think like a mortal. So we understand there's really no such, you know, time. We're going to be immortal. We're in this flesh, so we put things in a matter of time, and it's like, you know, but we're going to be immortal. There's not going to be any, you know, conditions on. All right, so like I got a call, but yeah, we're going to be immortal. So again, it's just a matter of time before we're recompensed. For this devil is recompensed for all the evil that he's done. You see? So I think I'm gonna stop right there. I'll do a part 2 because I did want to get to chapter 36 as well. So I'll get around to that after I finish up here. So Abaratazah, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.